on board the Disney Magic. Over the next 6 days, we will explore all the magic that Disney has to offer on the high seas. Our cruise sailed out of Fort Lauderdale, which is about 160 miles south of their main port up at Port Canaveral. The cruise terminal for Disney in Fort Lauderdale is a lot smaller and more crowded than Port Canaveral. When boarding, the crew members announce your name to the ship as a Disney welcome. Your first impression of the ship is the Grand Atrium. We took this cruise in mid-October, so the ship was decorated for Halloween with a tree off to the side. The Magic is supposed to have a turn-of-the-century ocean liner type feel, and I think that Disney pulled that off very well. For lunch, you can either go to the buffet called Cabanas on Deck 9 aft, or you can eat at the restaurant called Rapunzel's Royal Table on Deck 3 aft. We chose to eat at the restaurant. For an appetizer, I had the sliced smoked salmon. It was good. For the entree, I had the chicken Caesar salad. It was probably the best salad I have ever tasted. I ended with a dessert of a welcome aboard sundae. Our rooms were then ready at 1 p.m., which means it is time for the room tour. We chose an inside stateroom, which is the smallest room type on the ship. The room is reasonably sized with a lot of storage. There's a safe to hold all your valuables, and a good TV, and a very comfortable bed and couch. The bathroom is just the right size with a lot of light and a good sized shower. After that, everyone headed to the top deck to see the sail-away party. We chose to just watch the sail-away on our own. At 5:45, it was time for dinner. There are 2 different seatings for dinner. First seating is at 5:45, and second seating is at 8 o'clock. We got first seating for this cruise. We ate dinner at Animator's Palette, which is one of the 3 restaurants on this ship. For the appetizer, I had the chicken bastilla, which was very good and did not last long. For the main course, I had the penne arrabbiata, which was also very good. For dessert, I had the very famous Mickey bar. After dinner, we decided to explore some of the shops on board. Mickey's Mainsail and Whitecaps are the 2 main shops on board to buy all your Disney Cruise merchandise. There are also shows almost every night in the Walt Disney Theater. Tonight's show was Twice Charmed, which is a twist on the Cinderella story. Keep in mind that you are not able to take videos or photos in the theater. The first day probably will not give you enough time to get acquainted with the ship, which means it is time for the ship tour. The first 2 decks are just full of crew areas and staterooms, so our ship tour starts on Deck 3. Here you will find Rapunzel's Royal Table, and on the right will be the Soul Cat Lounge. If you follow the hallway, you will see the 3rd restaurant called Lumiere's. This will bring you to the Grand Atrium. At the edges of the atrium, you will find guest services and the Port Adventures desks. Further along, you will reach After Hours, which has Keys, O'Gill's Pub, and Fathoms. Moving on to Deck 4. Deck 4 offers the Walt Disney Theater, all of the shops, the D Lounge, the Vista Gallery, Shutters, Diamonds and Wishes, and Animator's Palette. Moving on to Deck 5. Deck 5 hosts staterooms forward and aft, but in midship it has the Buena Vista Theater, It's a Small World Nursery, the Oceaneer Club, the Oceaneer Lab and the Oceaneer Club are great places for kids to have fun in many different sections and themes. Decks 6 through 8 are all staterooms, so we move on to Deck 9. Deck 9 has cabanas, which is a breakfast and lunch buffet, the Aqua Lab, Frozone Treats, Pinocchio's Pizzeria, Goofy's Family Pool, The Edge, the Quiet Cove Adult Pool, and the Senses Spa. And now moving on to Deck 10. Deck 10 is home to the Palo Steakhouse. The Twist and Spout Water Slide, the Aquadunk Water Slide, and Goofy's Wide World of Sports Deck. Finishing our ship tour with Deck 11, which is home to the Vibe. The first of our 3 stops on this cruise was Castaway Cay. At Castaway Cay, you can either walk to the beaches or take a shuttle. There are 2 different beaches, the Castaway Family Beach and Serenity Bay. Serenity Bay is an adult-only beach, so if you don't have kids, this is the perfect spot for you. There are also bike rentals, so if you want, you can rent a bike and pedal out to a watchtower, which gives you a great view of the entire island. You can also visit a lookout area over a perfect beach with beautiful blue water. If you are into marine life, then you can snorkel out in the bay, or you can visit Castaway Rays, which is an area to see stingrays up close. Castaway Cay also offers things like kayaking, boat rides, and cabana rentals. After riding bikes, we just went to relax in chairs on the beach. After we were done with the island, we relaxed on deck eating and watching the funnel vision, which is the giant TV screen on the ship. There are many lounge chairs on deck if you just want to sit and relax. If you don't want to just sit and relax, there are all sorts of activities that you can do throughout the day on the ship, like trivia and fathoms, or drawing classes inside the D Lounge. You can also relax in your room and watch TV. The TV has a view out the front of the ship, a map with the ship's position, and all your regular channels. After a beautiful sail away, it was time for dinner. Tonight's dinner was at Rapunzel's royal table with a show. My appetizer was the ravioli tirouler, with an entree of tangled pasta. They were both very good. Dessert for me was a Rapunzel's fry pan sweetbread. There was also this cool spider for our Halloween dessert. After dinner, we went to go see live music in the atrium. Our port today was Nassau. Nassau is the capital of Bahamas. It is also the home of the Atlantis Resort. We lucked out today, since the Disney Fantasy also happened to be in port with us. This morning, we decided to take a drawing class, where we learned how to draw Mickey Mouse. After that, We just relaxed on the promenade on deck 4. The promenade is an outdoor track and sitting area below the life rafts. We also relaxed on deck and watched all the other ships leave port. After that, it was time for dinner. We ate at Rapunzel's royal table again. For an appetizer, I had the crab cakes, which were delicious. For my main course, I had the grouper, which was the best thing I have ever eaten. After dinner, we enjoyed a movie at Buena Vista Theater. And then we watched fireworks up on deck for the pirate party. Today was our final port of call. Lighthouse Point is Disney's newest stop and private island that opened this summer. Lighthouse Point is on part of the island of Eleuthera. The pier where you dock is famous for being long. We didn't even walk slow and it took us 10 minutes to walk it. After getting off the pier, you can take a short tram ride to a small shopping center. From there, you can get to the eating areas, beaches, and even the nature trails. The beaches on Lighthouse Point are some of the nicest I have ever seen. We spent our time relaxing in beach chairs and eating at the barbecue area. We even got to witness a Bohemian celebration called the Junkanoo Celebration. With the short tram ride and long walk to the ship, this was the last time we would see land for a couple of days. After a beautiful sail away from Lighthouse Point, it was time for dinner. Tonight we ate at Lumiere's. The restaurant gets its name from the candlestick in Beauty of the Beast. It also has great windows. For an appetizer, I had the duck confit, which I was not the biggest fan of. My main course was the conchiglie pasta. It was very good. After dinner, we tried our luck at Disney movie quotes trivia and fathoms. Then, to end the day, everyone gathered in Walt Disney Theater to see Tangled the musical. Today was our first and only day at sea of the cruise. We spent a good part of the morning just relaxing on the promenade, watching the world go by. Disney offers all sorts of activities like towel folding, bag making, ship tours, wine tasting, and trivia. At 1 p.m., we went to see a ventriloquist inside the Walt Disney Theater. At 2 p.m., they held Jack Jack's incredible diaper dash inside the atrium. The diaper dash is where they race crawling babies against each other on a mat. Disney also has movies playing all day on the Funnelvision and inside the Buena Vista Theater. Soon, it was time for our final dinner. Tonight, our meal was at Animator's Palette. For an appetizer, I had the smoked salmon tartare, which was just okay. My main course was ginger teriyaki dusted Angus beef tenderloin. This was pretty good. After dinner, we sat and watched the beautiful sunset on our final day. The show in the Walt Disney Theater tonight was Disney Dreams, an Enchanted classic. This show premiered with the ship in 1998, though the show has always changed and updated with the times. We docked back into Fort Lauderdale about 4:30 a.m. Everyone needed to be out of the rooms by 8. Breakfast started at 6:45, but we chose to get off the ship as soon as possible. I have sailed with Disney Cruise Line many times, and they have never disappointed. I would definitely do this again. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, we encourage you to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment saying I subscribed, and we will get back with you as soon as we can.